This is a violation. The fine is $750. What? I had an emergency. This is outrageous. Rules are rules.
At exactly 6:03 a.m., after a 14-hour COVID shift, Nurse Elena Brooks pulled into her driveway with shaking hands, dried sweat on her scrubs, and a face mask still hanging from one ear. 3 patients had died that night. One of them had begged her not to let him die alone. She didn't even notice the orange paper slapped on her garage door. HOA violation notice, $750 fine. Reason, unauthorized vehicle, work van visible overnight. Elena blinked at it, confused. The work van was a hospital shuttle car the hospital had loaned her because she was too exhausted to drive safely. Before she could even process it, a voice cut through the morning air. Good, you finally saw it. There stood Karen Whitmore, HOA president, sunglasses, coffee cup, smirk. Elena tried to explain, calmly, softly. I'm a nurse. I just got off a COVID shift. Sis, that car is hospital issued. Karen cut her off. This is a residential community, not a parking lot for government junk. Rules are rules. Elena's voice cracked. People are dying. I haven't slept in 2 days. Karen leaned in and whispered, cold and smiling, not my problem. Pay the fine or I'll double it. Then she walked away. What Karen didn't know, what she couldn't have known, was that this single fine was about to reach an entire hospital staff already pushed to the edge. And when healthcare workers find an enemy, they don't complain. They organize. Elena didn't cry. She did something far more dangerous. She took a photo of the HOA notice, then another of her blood-stained scrubs still hanging from the car seat, and posted both in her hospital's private group chat with one line, got fined for saving lives. Within 6 minutes, the reactions exploded. Doctors, respiratory therapists, ICU nurses, paramedics, all of them reading the same message while pulling off PPE and watching patients suffocate through glass walls. One surgeon replied, "Send me the HOA's name." Another nurse said, "I'll call local news." But the real turning point came when someone leaked it to Twitter. By noon, the post had 120,000 shares. By 3 p.m., Karen's HOA page was flooded with comments. Hope you're proud. Imagine bullying nurses during a pandemic. This HOA needs to be shut down. Karen saw it all and laughed. She emailed Elena, online harassment doesn't change fines. You now owe $1,500 for defamation of community image. That email got screenshotted too. And that was the moment the hospital staff stopped being angry and started being strategic. Because one of Elena's colleagues wasn't just a nurse. He used to work in municipal enforcement. And he recognized Karen's HOA name instantly for something they'd been hiding for years. If you're watching this and you're enjoying the story so far, smash like, hit subscribe, share this with someone who hates toxic HOAs, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. His name was Marcus Reed, quiet guy, night shift nurse, the one who never spoke unless something was seriously wrong. When Marcus saw the HOA name on Elena's screenshot, his face changed. I've seen them before, he said slowly. Not as an HOA, as a case file. Turns out, before nursing, Marcus worked for Municipal Compliance, the department that audits neighborhood associations. And Karen's HOA? It was flagged 3 years earlier for illegal fines, discriminatory enforcement, and misuse of community funds. But the investigation was dropped when the board cooperated. Or so everyone thought. Marcus dug deeper. What he found made the group chat go silent. Karen had been issuing fines without legal authority. Half of the violations weren't in the bylaws. The money was being routed into a community improvement account that only Karen controlled. No transparency. No audits. No resident votes. Straight up abuse of power. Marcus forwarded everything to the hospital legal team. Not to sue, to expose. By the next morning, a formal complaint was filed with the city. Then another. Then 6 more. From different residents who had been quietly overcharged for years but were too scared to fight back. Karen still thought she was untouchable. She sent one final email to Elena, "You picked the wrong community to mess with." What Karen didn't realize was that she had just declared war on people who document everything, escalate everything, and never back down once a case is open, and the city had just reopened her file with fresh evidence. Karen was in the middle of a Zoom HOA May meeting when the email came in. Subject line, "Notice of municipal investigation, immediate action required." Her smile froze. 2 city compliance officers showed up 3 days later, not to talk, to audit. They requested bank statements, fine records, enforcement logs, resident complaints, everything Karen had been managing alone for 4 years. Karen tried to play it cool, said it was a misunderstanding, said the nurse was emotional, said social media had twisted the narrative. The officers didn't argue, they just kept typing. What they uncovered was brutal. Over $48,000 in line fines, selective enforcement against minorities and essential workers, unauthorized penalties, and worst of all, financial misrepresentation. Karen had used HOA funds to pay for personal legal fees, luxury landscaping, and even a consulting stipend paid to herself. 2 weeks later, the consequences hit all at once. Karen was removed as HOA president by emergency vote. The HOA was fined by the city. All illegal fines were ordered refunded with interest. And Karen personally faced civil charges for misappropriation. But the real humiliation? Local news ran the story under the headline, HOA president who fined nurse during COVID now under investigation. Her name, her face, her emails. Elena didn't sue. She just donated her refunded fine to the hospital COVID fund. Karen lost her position, her reputation, and the control she abused, all because she tried to punish a nurse for coming home from saving lives. If this story hit you, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Toxic HOAs exist everywhere, and stories like this remind them that power without accountability always collapses.